Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back. This is our Solar Truths series here on the Ted Show, and I'm with my dear friend, the one and only Solar Man, Manny Garcia with American Clean Energy Solar. We've partnered up. Manny is educating us. He is giving us the 411, the real 411, with a lot of integrity, nothing but integrity, and the real truth about what's going on. Welcome, Manny. How are you today?
Fantastic, Ted. Thank you again for having me on the show. Excited to be here.
I'm so excited. I love this topic. I'm all about sustainability. I want to learn more about solar, and you have done such a great job of educating me. And I want everyone to know what I know. So that's the whole point of this series, is to educate everyone, to give them the solar truths about what's going on, because there's a lot of misinformation out there, and there's a lot of information to try to maneuver through. Can be very confusing, but we live in the sunshine state, so we want to get the information out. How much better could you be placed other than Florida? So let's talk about it. Give them a little 411 on American Clean Energy Solar. And then our topic today is, how much can you save by switching to solar? Welcome.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, the first thing I want people to know is that the reason I got into solar was because I was a consumer, just like most people, right? We're a homeowner, looking for ways to save some money, for some ways to improve my property value, and I started doing some research in solar, and I got to tell you, I fell in love with it, and I highly suggest. Even if you don't go solar, learn a little bit about renewable energy, learn a little bit about solar, because it's a beautiful industry. It's a beautiful product. It really does work when done properly. But when I was going through my own process, I realized, after having multiple companies come to my home, that there was just, again, everybody was all over the place, right? Prices were all over the place, all kinds of different equipment, all kinds of different size systems. And I said, wait a second, there's no uniformity here. Some people were great at really educating. Others were just trying to, rush me through into a deal, try to close me, right? And I decided to take some time and to learn this industry, and I fell in love with it. And now, I'm a part owner in a company that now offers, solar systems, right? So, and what we're going to be talking about today, which is the savings, is really what got me motivated and inspired to jump into this business. Number one, there's a demand for it. Number two, when you take a look at the numbers, it's a no-brainer. It really is a no-brainer. It's funny, right? Because we had a conversation earlier. Somebody said, well, if it sounds too good to be true, then it must be too good to be true. And I would say that's 80% accurate, right? In
Yeah.
most cases, we do hear that. But all I encourage is, if you are semi-decent with numbers, dive into it, do your own research, look at the numbers, and it's just an incredible value proposition. It's one of the few things that we can actually do for ourselves where we can regain control, especially right now during these crazy times of inflation. And we'll look at some of the numbers here, and this is a real case study, and I'll show you and the viewers exactly how they can learn how to see what they're actually paying right now with the utility company compared to what the cost would be with any solar company. So yeah,
Love it.
let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay, so do you want to dive into a bill? Let's just look at
Yes, bring it on up. Let's
All
do
right,
it.
let's
I think
see.
what's important while Manny's doing that is, you do have to do your own research, but you also have to go with your gut. I think it's a great idea to talk when you are talking with a consultant, a solar consultant. You want to do your vetting of the company. You want to look at what they do, how they do it, because I'm going to tell you that when I was looking at it before, I had no idea who I could trust. This is before Manny. And I feel like that is what is so critical. We're missing out on that opportunity, because I believe that there are, like in any industry, some crazy people out there. And because, like you have mentioned before, we are unregulated. And so anybody and their brother can get out there and say they're selling solar and put together a really pretty presentation, but you really need to understand the meat of it. You need to do your research and feel good. So let me add this to the stream here. All right, what do we have, Manny?
pull up your own energy bill and take a look at exactly what you're paying for, right? You're going to see a bunch of different charges, two charges, depending on how much energy you're consuming, two charges on your energy charge, two charges on your fuel charges. Basically, all that's really happening here is you're getting penalized to use more power, right? So once you go over, in this case, 1,000 kilowatt hours, then you're paying a premium. And although this looks like a penny difference, it's actually, significant, right? If you take 9.337 divided by 10.487, it's about an 11% premium that you're paying to use more power. But the idea here is to learn how much you're actually paying per kilowatt. So if you take your total kilowatt hours for your billing period, in this case, it's 2980, okay? And you take your bill, you got to add up all your charges. So this is $451 plus $6 plus 11 plus $48 in taxes. So that's $516, right? And you divide it by your kilowatt hours that you've consumed, divided by 2980. In this case, this person is paying 17.3 cents per kilowatt. Okay. Now, by switching over to solar, the average cost per kilowatt when you switch over to solar is anywhere between 10 and 12 cents, depending on your roof type, depending on how your roof is positioned, and how much sun exposure it gets. So if you just do the math, right? If you say 11 cents divided by 17 cents, that is let's say 40% discount. So by switching over to solar, this person will save about 40% per month, and it adds up really, really quickly. Let me show you an actual case study. Okay, this is somebody else in Winter Garden. This person was paying an average of $4,200 a year. Now, this particular customer had some cash laying around, and right now, because of the way inflation is, he's losing money by having the money in the bank, right? He's losing 8-9% of his money. So instead, we're going to take the money and we're going to put it into his solar system. Now, he's going to pay $43,000 for his solar system after his tax credit, right?
Right.
But he no longer pays Duke. He now pays himself. This person now basically becomes their own utility company. So if you take what they would have paid Duke, and now knowing that they don't have that cost, 4,200 divided by the cost of a system, 43,623, that's a 9.6% return on his money. Okay, now obviously this is somebody who has cash, is somebody who's not financing the system, but instead of having, again, cash in the bank, losing 8-9% because of inflation, now they're turning that around and they're investing into their own renewable energy source, and now they're actually making a return off of their investment. That's why it's called an ITC, by the way, investors tax credit. So the IRS gives people an investor tax credit when they invest into renewable energies, and solar is one of those things. If this person would have gone with a loan, this is what they were currently paying Duke, right? $350 a month. And just to switch over, there's no out-of-pocket expense. If they did financing, 100% of their system would get financed. And once everything's installed, they stop paying Duke, and now they pay themselves. This payment of $269 includes them paying their solar. They're saving an average of 23% instantly per month, okay, including the customer service fee that Duke is imposing on them. Now, here's the benefit. We all know what inflation does. In 10 years, if you're paying $350 right now, in 10 years, you're going to be paying $518 a month. That's the equivalent with 3% inflation. Imagine 7, 8, 9, 10% inflation like the way we're seeing it right now. The good thing about solar is your payment is your payment. Your payment doesn't change. You're still paying $269, right? In 25 years, if you kept doing the utility company thing at a normal 3% inflation rate, 518 becomes $933 a month with the energy company. By then, you've had your solar system paid off. Now you're still tied to the grid. We estimate that the $30 that you're paying today as a customer service fee with inflation will be about $78 in 25 years. So instead of paying $933 a month, then you're only paying $78 a month. Okay. Now, in this case scenario, this customer would have paid Duke $153,000, doing exactly what they're doing right now. With solar, including all of the customer service charges with Duke, they're paying $93,000. They're saving $60,000 over the course of 25 years. And they also have a $15,000 tax credit that they took advantage of the second year after they installed it. So there's a lot of benefits to owning. What you want to do is you want to figure out what is your total yearly cost after switching over to solar, okay? And then you're going to take the amount of kilowatt hours that you're consuming. You take that number that you're going to be, and it's a little technical. I know this might go over somebody's head here.
That's all right. That's why we're going to have people can ask questions later.
That's right. So again, just take what your total cost of your solar system would be divided by your kilowatt hours, and then you'll see. Right now, if you're paying 17 cents through Duke like this customer was, and now if you're paying 10 cents, then there's a massive savings in there.
It's just there's so much good that comes out of you being able to do this. Like most of us, we recycle, right? So we've sort of been trained that we want to do something sustainable, that we can help the environment, that we can save the planet, right? So even if you're not one of those people, the savings on your bill overall and what you're able to do, because I feel like my house, for example, gosh, we're 1960 ranch house. God, what a nightmare not dealing with the energy company, but the cost was just insane. I couldn't keep enough insulation in there to make it so that the bill was what I would consider truly affordable. Now I get to not only reduce at some point my bill, but I get to build up sustainability. I get to give back, and that's sort of how I feel. And I think a lot of people, even that younger generation, they're like, I'm doing good for the world. But this show is about how much money you can save, and Manny did a phenomenal job showing you bottom line people. For me, I need a Manny and a Stacy, who's my wife in my life, because bottom line is not great for me. I'm the big ideas guy, and so I love to be able to see those numbers there and to be able to trust somebody to get me there. So, what's the best way, Manny, they can find us? I have a nice little QR code showing right now, right?
That's right. So I know we got a little bit technical before we talk about that again, just to give an average perspective out there again in terms of like how much money somebody can save. I would say that depending again on your home and your sun exposure, and if you need a new roof and all that, you're looking at anywhere between 20 and 50% savings.
It's to me,
So
it's huge. Any savings is a big deal, and I know that the savings is long term too. Your energy bill is going to continue to go up, 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 and up. With everything that's going on economy wise, you're going to see a lot of shrinkage on the money side. So, how amazing is it to have an energy source that you're eventually going to see your bill go down? You're going to see your bill go down, and you're going to have that savings. And that is what this particular show is about. So we've got the QR code, we've got the website. Manny is always here and available for consult. And of course, you can always ask me. I am here to help and educate. But Manny's really the pro. And that is why I feel so good, completely confident in working with Manny, because I feel like this is where the future is. But you want to attach yourself and work with a company that has your best interest at heart. And that's what American Clean Energy Solar does. So where can we reach you, Manny? If it's not me, it's not my QR code, how can they find you?
Yeah, so they can reach me at 407-437-8248, or you guys can email us directly at lowermybill@americancleanenergysolar.com.
All right, and we'll be back next week with another topic on solar. And if you guys have questions in between, reach out to me, comment here. If it's a question that we think we can just make a whole show about, we will. We just want to educate you. We want you to be informed. What you do with that is up to you, but we want you to be informed by a company that has actually got your best interest at heart. All right, Manny, thank you so much. We'll see you guys back here next week on the Solar Truths. Bye, everybody.